Sparkle Babe. Welcome back to another episode of the Miata Shante podcast. I am your host, Miata. If you are new here, babe, welcome to the sparkling party. Over here, we focus on personal development, spiritual development, love, growth, and all high vibrational things. So if you enjoy, come on in. Come on in. It's enough sparkle for everybody, okay? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you're celebrating yourself. I hope you're enjoying just the day and finding something to enjoy in this day, because there's always something to celebrate. There's always something to enjoy, whether it's just a small cup of wine, a good TV show, a good movie, a good conversation, a good journal, good meditate, just something to enjoy yourself and cultivate in the energy of you. All right, y'all already know why I'm here. I got some heat today that I want to dive into. And this was a suggested topic. So if you have any topics that you suggest and you want to hear and you want to hear me dive deep into, feel free to email me at talkswithmiatashante@gmail.com, and I got you, babe. I got you, because I want you to sparkle in every area. And, if you know, I know, we know, and we can know together, and knowing is bettering. So I'm here for it. And if you're here, put here in the chat. Like, comment, I'm here. Okay? That's our thing. Commenting, I'm here. Just being in the room, being in the presence. Okay, let's get into it. So today we're going to touch on personal development of yourself while being a mom and a partner. Woo! Okay, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Personal development of yourself while being a mom and a partner. Like, what? It sounds like a lot. It really sounds like a lot, but yet it's so simple. And I'm going to break it down and show you why it's so simple. And in my opinion, the simplicity of it. Because when you think about self-love and a healthy relationship with yourself, it's going to overflow into the healthiness of your children and to developing a healthiness with your partner, because everything starts with you. Your love starts with you. Your patience starts with you. Your speaking over yourself starts with you. So if you can do that with yourself and enjoy it, and just cultivate in it, when you pour out from your cup, it's going to overflow into every situation, because it's going to be the genuineness that you're striving for. And you're going to know how to, approach situations in the way that they need to be approached, besides just handling every situation the same. And let me break that down a little bit, because even as a mom, I have twin girls, and they're very different. They have different personalities. They have different likes, although they share the same thoughts sometimes, and they share the same emotions sometimes. They are very different. And I had to come to realize that I had to treat them as their differences. I had to talk to them differently. I had to coach them differently. I had to listen to them differently. I had to observe them differently, so that I can have a different approach with them to empower their individuality versus them together, if that makes sense. And so I had to dive deep in myself so that I know how to speak to certain situations and to speak to them in my observation. Sorry. And so it made it easier for me to know what I needed to work on in myself, because I saw them in me. There were traits of them that I seen in me. There was habits of them that I seen, in me. And I seen me in them. Let me rephrase that. And it's like, I had to nurture that, because then it reflected me back to myself. Like, okay, Miata, you used to do this. Okay, you used to say this. Like, you used to act this way. So it was a healing in myself when I realized some of the things that they were doing. And I had to gain a healthy love with myself so that I can love them and nurture them in a healthy way, if that makes sense. So when we treat things as a reflection, and when we treat situations as a reflection, when it comes to our children, it's easy for us to gravitate to them, because then we got to go back and not just jump on them for the actions that they did, but we got to cultivate the situation in a way to, how can they understand this? Because one of my daughters, I can just be straightforward with. The other one, she's kind of a little bit more sensitive, so I have to go at her in a different way. And that's an observation of myself, because sometimes I can take it straightforward, and depending on the situation, and sometimes you got to be a little sensitive with me. Like, you got to give it to me in a, cradle me in a way so that I understand. But all in all, it's shifting yourself so that you can give the healthy love of somebody else, because everybody's needs are different. Everybody's love language is different, and everybody's language and how they express themselves is different. Sometimes you may get silence. Sometimes you may get anger. Sometimes you may get sadness, or sometimes you just may get a lashing out, or, everybody deals with things in a different way. However, it's very, very important that when you are raising girls, and I have a son as well, and it's very different on that side of the road, But I'm speaking just for an overall generalized, statement of just giving what needs to be gave in each present moment to each situation, and not handling it in a way to where it's a disturbance of the lesson. It's a disturbance of the peace, because your reaction and your emotion is so strong to where you can't really nurture the situation and let them know their mistakes, but also celebrate them, because you know that they can do better. And so I feel like that's very important. Celebration is so important. And that's why I say that at the beginning of the podcast, like, celebrate yourself, because we go through so much and we don't take the time out to really just celebrate who we are, what we've done, what we've been through, and then what we have to face ourselves with our children, to even raise ourselves all over again. You know what I mean? Because me as a young mom, I'm raising them, but I'm also raising myself, and it's teaching me to love myself more. It's teaching me to have patience with myself. It's teaching me that learning from my mistakes and loving my mistakes along the way is just another appreciation of myself, because I can do it. I am bold. I am courageous. I am all of these things. I am abundant, and I see it through my children, so I really hope that made sense when it came to the personal development of just, yourself, along with building a relationship with your children. As far as like being a partner, when it comes to partnering with anything or anyone, it's, what are you giving? What are you willing to take accountability for with yourself in order to keep the relationship healthy? Because when you're partnering in a relationship, whatever it is, it's being able to receive and accept, and it's being able to give, as well, in observation of yourself and others. And it's a challenge. It can be challenging, but I feel like the only challenging part is when you don't take accountability for yourself, when you don't analyze yourself. And if you haven't heard the podcast of Enjoying Letting Go, girl, pause right now and go listen to that, and then come back, because sometimes we have to enjoy the old version of us just as well as the new version of us in order to let things go, to be able to take accountability. And you can't let go until you take accountability for what you may need to let go of. And so when our partners come to us and they're like, saying how they feel and what we've done, it's not necessarily the situation, but it's the emotion that needs to be healed. And even with ourselves, we are healing emotions. We're not healing situations. We're looking back on situations and revisiting an emotion, not the situation. So when you look at a situation, you have to look at that emotion and heal that emotion, because when you heal the emotion, it won't repeat itself, because you're going to recognize it. Because anything from our past, we're going to recognize it. When somebody has lied to you so much or done you wrong so much, you're going to recognize it. It's just the nature in us, the brain in us to be like, oh, here we go. Like something ain't right here. You get that intuition when you're in tune with your mind, body, and your soul. So when it comes full circle with the relationship with your husband, with your wife, with your partner, and even going into with your children and trying to juggle everything, it's not about just juggling each and every, relationship. It's about juggling yourself first, knowing what you value and standing firm in that value and being able to share that value, and then creating a space to welcome change, to welcome mistakes, to welcome imperfections. And then while doing that, you're also welcoming yourself to express yourself in a way to where you're not looking for everybody else to be perfect, because you're not perfect, but you're also offering in each and every moment, just being able to be yourself and being able to stand in accountability, so that accountability is allowed to say, hey, I know I was wrong, but how can we fix this? And opening up that space to be able to fix it. But first, you got to know you. You have to know you enough to know what you need to let go of, to cultivate a new space within yourself, to open that up in everybody else. Because what you're okay with yourself, you're going to make it okay with somebody else. And so if you're not really just communicating with yourself often and giving yourself affirmations and celebrating yourself, you're not going to be able to share that with the next person. You're not going to be able to, give that energy off, because you're not doing it with yourself. And I know it can be hard, like juggling motherhood, juggling a relationship, juggling a household. And let's just take a moment of silence to just commend, that strength. Like, that is a strength. It doesn't matter if you're a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, it doesn't matter who you are. At the end of the day, we all have to celebrate that strength to be able to do what we do, because we don't know where it comes from. Like, when you gotta go pick up the kids, go to the store, go walk the dog, go cook, and go, make sure homework and everything is done. You have to celebrate that strength, because sometimes we don't know. We're just on autopilot, to where we're just doing it, to where we're not taking time to celebrate that we can do it, celebrate that we can be in these moments, and being present enough in those moments to cultivate it and honor it, to where we can self-reflect on ourselves and be able to give and uplift and celebrate others no matter what. And so personal development and finding time for yourself in any relationship is so very important. Sit with yourself, meditate, question your habits, question your thoughts, question you to the point to where you're analytical of yourself and not necessarily judging yourself, but you're welcoming your every emotion, and you're looking at it in a way to say, what if my partner had these emotions? How would I react to them? What if my children had these emotions? How would I react to them? And you see the relationship with yourself developing. So that's going to pour out, and you're going to be able to be that light, and you're going to be able to share, and you're just going to look at those moments in a different way. And that's going to be honored. That's going to be appreciated, because it's like, mama, you're doing it. You did it. And your kid going to be 18 years old, and you and your partner going to be on the beach, with cocktails, and you're gonna be sitting there like, man, My kids is grown and I did that. You know what I mean? And I'm still with you. Like, we still here celebrating together after all we have been through. And those are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moments. And I hope I said something, that really resonated with you, that you can cultivate more in your relationships with your family, with your children, with your partner. So it's not looked at hard. Nothing is hard. Everything is felt. So when you're able to feel differently, you begin able to, lessen up the ease or the stress, because you can welcome a new energy and a new emotion and replace it, because that's all we do. We just replace emotions, and that's how we live. We live through feeling. So when you replace anger with sadness, or you replace sadness with happiness, or you're just replacing emotions. So when you can acknowledge your emotion, take account for your emotion, communicate your emotions, it makes it easier for you to be and build healthy relationships through that. And my mama, shout out to my mama, like, girl, we be lit. Like, shout out to my mama. But she sent me a post, and it was talking about emotional farts. And I love it, because let's have emotional farts. Like, farted, not literally farted out, but have your emotional farts. Get it out. Let it out. Do not hold that inside of you, because if you hold it inside of you, you're just prolonging that emotion for whatever you feel longer and longer and longer and longer. And it's just eating you up inside, because it brings bitterness. It brings pain. It just brings trauma. So let it out. Like, emotionally fart, and do it often. Not so often where you get caught up in your emotions and you lose emotional intelligence, but communicate what needs to be communicated in the most healthiest way, to where it's solutionary, and it's not adding to the problem or affecting the way that things can be in the future, because you don't know how to take accountability to communicate your emotions in the best way to let them go. Oh, honey, we already 17 minutes in, and I feel like my mouth is just, and I'm very authentic. And I want, if this is your first time listening, or if you've listened before, I'm very authentic, and I'm going to keep everything in, and I'm going to, because I feel like I'm having a conversation with my friend. Like, I'm having a conversation with a babe that wants better, that wants to do better. And I love that. I love an environment where it's okay to have mistakes, but it's okay to be authentically you in whatever that is, and we're creating a space for that. So if you enjoyed this space, I enjoyed speaking from my heart and pouring out a message of blessing, so that you can continue to endure your journey and be your best self and sparkle on purpose. And I hope that you find this and you share this, and you love yourself even more. You love your relationships even more. You just leave right now from this podcast. Go hug your kids. Go hug your partners. Let them know that you appreciate them. Let them know that you love them, and let them know that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. I'm here. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm, emotional at times. I lash out at times, and it's okay. And I just want you to know that it's okay. And I love you for just you being in this house, you being in my presence. And I want you to know that, and just hug them, give them love, give them a piece of you that they can sleep with tonight and be like, wow, like, mommy loves me, bae loves me, honey loves me. Like, I'm loved, and I'm okay to be who I am, because that's what we want to do over here. We want to sparkle on purpose, with purpose, and be authentic while we do it. I hope you enjoyed this, babe. I love you. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Sparkle on purpose, and always be you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.